address the so.
Hey everyone, today we have a really unique episode. We have not just one today we have not just one interviewee, we have three special educators on the call today here to chat with us all things special educator professional development. So help me welcome Ashley, Jen, and Heather, also known as Special Ed Socials, along with me. But I'll let them all introduce themselves as well and who they are and where you can find them. Jen, go first.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen. Most of you may know me from Teach Love Autism, and I am currently a classroom instructional coach working with teachers in self-contained classrooms. Heather?
I am Heather from Full Sped Ahead. I have been in special education now going on my 10th year. And I was in the classroom for 8 years, and then I transitioned to be an instructional coach. And then now I am a curriculum and assessment director at an autism school in Illinois. Go ahead, Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm the face behind Spectacular Days, and I'm wrapping up my 12th year in education. I've done self-contained intellectual disabilities in middle school, resource in elementary, and I'm finishing my first year in ECSC, which is early childhood special education.
Yes, awesome. And I am Dawn Ellis. I'm from Cultivating Exceptional Minds. And together, like I said, we do make Special Ed Socials. And so I just want to chat about that just a little bit in this episode. So if you're not familiar with Special Ed Socials, it is a group of like-minded special educators who have come together over in a Facebook group called Special Ed Socials. And it's where 2,500 or more of us have rallied together to learn, collaborate. We provide professional development, freebies, and lots of insight so that you don't feel like you're necessarily on that island alone, that you have like-minded people alongside you every step of the way in your special education journey. So whether you're a brand new teacher just signing the papers, like the ink is still wet, or maybe you're a veteran teacher changing jobs or in the same role and just want to sharpen your skills, this is the group for you. And so we wanted to share about it today. So that's what Special Ed Socials is. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. But actually, will you share some of just the benefits of joining the group?
Absolutely. So as special educators, like Dawn said, a lot of times, especially if you're in a self-contained room or you're the only person in your school, you do feel like you're on an island. So this group is a safe place where you can learn from one another, whether you're a brand new teacher, like Dawn said, or a veteran teacher. It's a safe place where you can ask questions, receive information, insight, but also make new friends. And you can find maybe other educators that live near you, and then you can collaborate together. So it's a great place to learn, and we highly recommend that you join us.
Yeah, and I think there's just so much knowledge, no matter what the mean of like your preferred learning style, whether it's YouTube or if it's a podcast or if it's blogs or if it's freebies or if there's products that you're looking for. There's just so many different ways that we're trying to provide you information without the overwhelm, but to provide you different ways to learn all summer long. So on June 13th, it's a Tuesday, we are kicking off our live sessions. They will be live in Facebook. That will be at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But then on Sundays, we're also going to have a Q&A session to where if you have questions about the topic that we are chatting about that week, that theme, that is a time where we can come together and chat about those. That will be at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll have a topic each week over each week of the summer. So we will chat about that. Those will also be recorded and put into the Facebook group if you cannot catch us on those lives as well. So that is one great point of joining the group, is that's where you will get access to both the lives and the recorded versions of those. So tell me, Jen, what was one of your favorite parts about last year with Special Ed Socials?
Well, I think my favorite part of special ed socials was kind of getting down to the nitty gritty of some of the tougher topics that maybe in education and special education that we don't always feel comfortable talking about. So things like honoring your contract time, talking about working with adults in the classroom and outside of the classroom, tackling the paperwork stress, tackling some of those behaviors and really diving in, but also feeling comfortable because you know you're in a space with people that are feeling the same as you.
For sure. What about you, Heather?
For me, it was all about learning new things from other people. I know I've been in special education for 10 years, and there was things that I learned from you all last year that I was really able to bring back to my school that following year, where I felt I really could build up my repertoire of things and like a toolbox and a toolkit of things that I really could use. And it was meaningful, applicable resources, materials, ideas, thoughts that maybe I didn't even think about. I know I have the least amount of experience in this group, and so I love learning from others. And I even learned from people in our own Facebook group who wanted to be collaborative and share their ideas and thoughts and how they've taught lessons or differentiated instruction and all of those things that, like Jen said, the nitty gritty of our day that we have to do. We are so much better together. Why not use this community to do that? Ashley, what about you?
So I really enjoyed the camaraderie of not feeling alone, especially because this past summer I was transitioning to a completely new role. It was nice to find other educators who had done this role before, and I could pick their brain and feel a little less nervous to start a school year off in a brand new setting in place. So that was exciting. Dawn, what about you?
I really enjoyed the collaboration with just the variety of educators. We had early childhood educators, we had resource and inclusion educators, we have transition teachers, we have beyond as well, and so many others in between. And I loved that it was just a safe, like someone said earlier, a safe place to ask questions, to be transparent of the struggles that special educators have, but it's also a time to really find professional development that is tangible and applicable to what you're doing day in and day out. And so for me, that was so important because I feel like as special educators, so many times that we don't have that PD that is pertained to our specific niche of learners that we work with day in and day out. So I guess that leads me to Heather, can you let us know or let the listeners know of some of just the feedback of what others were saying in the group beyond just the four of us who help host the group?
Yeah, so like exactly what you were saying, that professional development piece is always missed for special education since it is so niche. So you go to an all staff PD and it doesn't pertain to you or your students or what's going on. So this was a place where people could go to free over the summer to hang out and learn, and you can pick and choose what you wanted. And people loved hearing those things that were so applicable for them. That was definitely the big feedback that we had gotten. We had also heard that finally somebody can hear me and I feel supported. Being able to find that focus of how to write an IEP or how to communicate with parents, those things that they can truly take back and use tomorrow if you're still in the classroom. So you were able to find that opportunity to get organized and get set and prepared for the next school year with people who understood in the amount of information that we were able to give. We got a lot of great feedback on that. It was everything, like you said, from IEPs to documentation to parents to working with paraprofessionals. We literally had it all last year. So people really found that valuable. And those little pieces and those little moments of detail that we provided too, that maybe like is not that long 20-minute video, but those little pieces along the way that was like the freebie or download this or hey, here's a reel I did. Those small pieces of information people were able to take back immediately And it's, again, another thing for your toolbox that you can just remind yourself like, hey, there's the things that I need. Here's the things that I wanted to hear. And now somebody's actually telling me that. And then the last one that I really felt was meaningful that we had heard, was this was good for veteran teachers as well. So whether you're new into the classroom, you've been here a couple years, or you're a veteran teacher, like people got stuff out of this. And that's that stuff that we want to take back to our classrooms to be better teachers.
For sure. I love it. Hey, Ashley, will you tell us about the different topics that we're going to cover this summer and what that looks like?
Yes. So in our Facebook group, each week we will have a topic that we are discussing. And then that Sunday following, we will have a Q&A session. So you, as the people in the group, get to ask questions that maybe we didn't quite touch in the initial video, but then we can also dive deeper into certain topics and areas that you guys might be confused on or just want more information. We're covering everything from curriculum differentiating, because that's huge in special education, lesson planning across multiple grade levels, scheduling for multiple grade levels. This is all things that first year teachers can really blow your mind, or if it's your first year just jumping into something like this. Independent work and life skill stations and how that can look in different settings in classrooms. We're going to talk about behavior, classroom management, especially for the beginning of the school year, setting off your classroom on the right foot. There's a lot of other different topics we're going to talk about throughout too, so stay tuned, but we definitely can't wait to share with this information with you all.
For sure. Yeah, I think that we try to cover like a wide variety of topics. So no matter what your role is as a special educator, because so many times we do carry or wear a lot of different hats, that the topics did pertain to a lot of the teachers who are in the group. So hopefully you will check it out and find lots of information that is helpful for you, whether that is in the form of the videos or the freebies or the different blog posts or podcasts that we share, YouTube videos, or even different content that we share. Jen, will you share anything else about Special Ed Socials maybe that we left off, and also where they can connect with the group?
Absolutely. So one thing that I feel like a lot of teachers maybe got out of it, and I felt this way myself, is that sometimes you don't, there's all these cool things you could try in your classroom. Maybe you've been curious about it, but you didn't want to jump into it because you didn't feel like maybe you had enough information. I know there were a few people that came to us asking, how do I set up an independent workstation? Or how do I get better with digital data collection? Things like that. And I think just knowing that there was someone kind of in their corner when we're often, like we said earlier, on that little island, like one of us was able to help some of those teachers like make that jump and try some of these things that maybe they wanted to, but just didn't have the gumption to start, was really cool. And then they were kind of encouraging others as well. So that was something for me that I thought was really cool to see. And like Ashley had said, didn't matter if they were brand new teachers, veteran teachers, switching settings. We had a lot of teachers that were like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be moving to this population and I have no idea what I'm doing. And I've been teaching for, 10 years, 15 years. And we'd be like, don't worry, we got you. So, that was really cool as well. So I do want to share where everybody can find this, right? Of course, we're talking about how amazing this is, all the cool PD you're going to get, all the support you're going to get from us. And I'm sure you're all wondering, like, where is this happening? So we have, as we mentioned earlier, a Facebook group. That is where the majority of it is going to be housed. The resources we're going to share, the freebies, the blogs, the podcasts, the YouTube videos, all of it will be housed in the Special Ed Socials Facebook group. And then if you want a little more fun, because we like to spice it up a little bit here, you can certainly find us on Instagram and TikTok, where we'll do some fun little nuggets of information as well as those platforms allow, of course. But if you want the bulk of that information, you're going to want to head to the Facebook group and then find us pretty much everywhere else.
Perfect. Yeah. So it's definitely worth checking out this summer. It's free professional development for special educators. So I think that it's shown a lot of growth this past summer. We've seen so much collaboration and just intentionality. And I think the summer is going to be even better. And we have a great lineup of topics and different resources lined up for you to help you go back in August or September, whenever you go back, to feel confident to lead your classroom all year long. So ladies, is there anything else that you wanted to share about special ed socials before we close this out? All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. And I hope as you're listening, it'll all the information will be in the show notes, but you can also reach out to any of us on social media to find where to join. We want you there. It all starts Tuesday, June 13th, but don't worry, if you're listening to this episode after June 13th, you can join at any time. So don't be afraid to come. Check it out and be among your people, your fellow special educators who are in this journey with you. So thank you so much, guys, for chatting with me, and we will talk soon.